Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, just mentioning the blue boy around here gets that kind of reaction. I wear that curse like a badge of honor. And all that time I spent not being a Sonic fan, I could start to feel a bit starved for new things to try. Now I'm as quick as anyone to go back to the old favorites, and with fan mods for Adventure and Generations as popular as they are, it's not like I'm running dry for a good time with my furry idol. Better Sonic DX, the Unleashed project, and countless stage mods for Gens and Mania alike, there's definitely a new feel given to the classics even now. But if you're anything like me, then you're a big fan of what could have been. The big YouTube analysis boys are always at their best when explaining a potential state of things that just aren't right now. And I don't think I've ever gotten quite as hype as listening to Shaymay's pitch for a 3D Sonic game. Fan ideas over the years have been laden down with transformations and dark tones, really not fitting for a charming game about a sassy insectivore. Heck, even the mainline series hasn't escaped that tone problem entirely. So when someone gets it right, it really gets my wheels spinning about what could be. At this point, I don't think reception of an official Sonic game has been overwhelmingly positive in almost a decade. I feel like I'm not the only one starving for a new experience that's captured our hearts and gotten our feet spinning. And while a design document narrated in soothing Scottish tones can only make the lack of such a game all the more painstaking, it could also help inspire other fans who are actual programmers showing off tech demos or whatever. Green Hill Paradise goes to show exactly what that kind of passion can inspire. And regardless of my opinions on its execution, it's brilliant to see those ideas implemented so seamlessly. So after my insane hiatus without a computer for years, it was actually pretty nice to get to come back to an utter laundry list of games. Both fan projects and original ideas that feel in a lot of ways more Sonic than Sonic has in a long time. Maybe ever. Take a journey with me then through that list, and let's try and scratch that nagging Sonic itch. Might as well start with the one that started it all, the famous Sonic fan game turned Kickstarter indie. Galaxy Trail's Freedom Planet has been a dream to replay for years now. Everything you'd expect in terms of exhilaration and twitch action platforming in a Sonic game is here, albeit with its own unique identity. Multiple paths, alternate characters. This is the stuff that's really been missing from everything besides Mania lately. It is really satisfying in a very intuitive way to get to grips with the versatility of your moveset, attacks that extend your platforming abilities, and ways to use your momentum to your advantage intersperse surprisingly fun combat. No enemies besides bosses are really a challenge, but sometimes the sheer number of them will put your skills to the test. Throw in a catchy soundtrack, and you really can't go wrong with some of these imaginative environments. It's not as focused on going fast as the memes make Sonic sound, but it's also not trying to be. Taking on a giant praying mantis thing from Jurassic Park is about as exciting as launching off a ramp with the right momentum, just in its own direction. The story's a matter of taste, but despite a few scenes running long, I get pretty attached to the three playable characters anytime I don't just skip them for the gameplay. It's not like Freedom Planet's been on my backlog all this time, but the demo for its sequel has. Freedom Planet 2 is looking to be more of the fun, made by a more experienced team after their run on the first game. Music sounding even more lively, character models are more striking than ever. Levels are bigger, more intricate, controls and abilities more fluid and intuitive. I think the first game is more than well worth catching up on if you haven't, but the sequel is definitely one to look forward to. Of course, it's not the only 2D juggernaut to make a splash in the community. Coming right off the heels of his fan games Sonic Before the Sequel, Sonic After the Sequel, and Sonic Chrono Adventure, Lake Feppard has really blown me away by his ability to keep pumping out fresh ideas in a charmingly familiar format. This time around, borrowing from some ideas first introduced in its fan games, a Jester hat wearing ball of yellow hops around at high speeds, fighting an army of robots and an edgy robotic clone of himself. If you root around in the pretty open level design, you're bound to come across the Jester powers. Think like Kirby powers by way of Mega Man ZX. Store one for later and take on baddies with all sorts of abilities, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. I usually like to keep one in stock that makes up for the other's downsides, covering my bases for that odd platforming section, or what even are these guys? I hate them! The soundtrack, as y'all might expect, brings back the musical Merc band that put together Lake's other OSTs, and the bangers on display here are top notch as always. I'm not exactly sure how much I can recommend this game to everyone, since it gets really tough later on, especially in the second campaign. But I guess if the classic, easy to beat, tough to master of Sonic games isn't enough for you, then this is exactly the sort of thing I imagine you'll welcome. Heck, if you're that sort of player, then the try-hard story might be right up your alley. Personally, after playing all the way through, I found myself enjoying Fark's gameplay even more than Spark's, which is pretty convenient given that. The sequel to Fepper Games' Spark the Electric Jester centers entirely around Fark the Robotic Jester. Spark doesn't even show up. Jester powers do come back though, there's definitely less of an emphasis on them. I think this is quite the fun romp if you're a fan of the first game, and as a matter of fact, it's very reminiscent of some of my favorite Sonic games. Alright. Let me level with y'all. This game is the reason I'm making this video. Freaking Spark 2 is one of my favorite games ever. It's a hella fun take on 3D Sonic and in a lot of ways pushes all my buttons harder than Sonic ever has. When I first start out running down these Dreamcast geometry levels, they might look a little bare, like emptier than Frog Forest kind of bare, even if the levels themselves are chock full of alternate paths. But the more you play, the more you delve into these really imaginative sets of platforms standing over nothing, the more you're gonna appreciate the lack of distractions. After you get a handle on the controls and your mobility options, the open design really starts to lend itself to crazy leaps over nothing and daring dashes through packs of enemies. Mastering the counter move is essential to keeping your pace up, and you won't believe how much of a giggling mess I become blasting through these stages at breakneck pace. Going fast is only one half of the equation though. Fark's acrobatic moveset means almost any wall is scalable if you come at it the right way. Those far off platforms, you can probably reach those with a well-timed spin dash. Jester charge. Score attacks are a serious draw for you explorative types, hunting down every last bit of points you can in a race against a hard 5-minute timer. At its best, the stages have a strong personality, which consistently changes as you alter your approach. Your first time getting to grips with things, your casual playthroughs for fun, your crazy speedrun strats into the exploration it takes to even find those routes in the first place, and the pure curiosity it takes to try everything in prep for that score attack. They almost feel like different levels entirely depending on what you're going for. This game expects a lot out of you, and I think it's fair to expect a lot back. I'll be honest, story doesn't do it for me. I kinda brushed over the bosses on replays, and I'm sure it could be a turnoff for some, but gods, these stages are some of the most fun I've had, like, ever. And it's all packaged in a wild homage to Sonic Adventure 2. If I can't have my Adventure 3, I'll take my Spark 2 any day of the week. And crank open that valve because there's another 3D Spark game on the way. But, speaking of that Adventure 3 feel, despite its sort of generic name, Sonic 2020 is a beast of a fan project. Animated cutscenes, what's looking to be an intricate story, and these levels. I don't think I can even express how much this hits me right in the nostalgia. Sonic's hopping headfirst into danger, Shadow's working for some shady government organization, Tails is there. Only 6 stages have been released so far, but already we've got a remix of White Jungle, a big-ass tree to climb up, a Mach-speed escape, some hologram combat testing facility, feels kinda Dragon Ball, a poison swamp with ancient echidna tech all over the place, and a boss fight with some ancient evil thing. Making full use of the fan-made Sonic Infinity engine, this is one of those crazy passionate projects that feels like the groundwork of something big budget. But it's like, free to download right now. Some of these set pieces are just like, I think the footage speaks for itself, but like, whoa, you know? And that soundtrack! Like, gosh, the team behind this really went all out with those Adventure 3 vibes. That all said, I do have some critiques. The controls take a hot minute to get used to. Sometimes I swear the game eats my double jump. Boost management can be a hassle. The speeds you go on the precarious pathways make it hard to keep yourself centered. These are the kinds of nuances that'll feel natural on your 8th playthrough, but not so much on your 1st. If you can handle that kind of learning curve, revisiting these stages over and over for those nasty S ranks can feel great. I'm assuming. Haven't gotten there yet. Also, the voice acting, or more accurately, the script.
Sonic doesn't cope with Emerald's protection, although he dared to say the opposite.
Could use some work. I have a feeling there's a second language thing going on here, and it really could have used a second pass before handing it off to the voice actors. They all seem really passionate about their characters, so it's just a little unfortunate to hear them
The part ahead looks like a riddle. I need to solve it.
miss the mark like this. I've just taken it in stride as part of the charm and cheese I associate with Sonic, but I think this could stop you from taking the story seriously at this rate. If, you know, Sonic stories are something you take seriously. Still though, really smart use of the engine, great environments, well-constructed level design all add up to the crazy ride you're in for. Definitely worth giving a go. If you're in the mood for something 2D, I'd highly recommend keeping an eye on this one. Noah Copeland's Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit is a reimagining of the Game Gear title from however far back that was, in the style of a Mega Drive game. There's a new story with quick little cutscenes and everything, setting this title fittingly as a follow-up to Sonic 3 really well. All of the levels and ideas come from Triple Trouble, but a lot of the level design and level gimmicks are brand new, so the familiar nostalgia is really just the icing on the Sonic cake here. Sonic retains his ability from the original to curl up mid-air, but this game also brings in the drop dash, the super peel out, the homing shield from Sonic 3D. There's even a button that lets you swap to Tails mid-platforming. This demo's so well fleshed out, I'm pretty sure we'll find some new wind barrier in the final game that lets you use the insta-shield. This is no exaggeration, the best feeling moveset for Sonic in any 2D game I've played. The love poured in here from every corner is so strong I can taste it. For only 3 acts, I'm already loving my time with it. I just want more. Cannot wait till it's finished. That's the trouble with falling in love with demos. I start itching for them to hurry up and finish it already.
Don't be late. You're talking to me?
Of course, good things are worth waiting for. Chaos X started their Unity port of Sonic 06 at least 3 years ago. Back then it was just one of those checkerboard test areas, and it just keeps blowing me away with how much detail they've already pumped into this thing. This is the first demo I've actually played, and wow, just the stark contrast between Vanilla 06 and Project 06 is weirdly nostalgic. The intent, so far as I can tell, is to faithfully recreate the game we were all promised back in 2006, as well as implementing anything unfinished in the final release. There's a lot of cool effects, charming touches, and you know what? I'll just let my initial playthrough speak for itself. That stinks! Oh, yo! Oh no, I think I broke something. Dude, you're going in a circle. Calm the heck down. What are you doing? Boing. Can the snowballs still hurt me? No. Can they? They can't. The snowballs can't hurt me anymore. And there's a target reticle. Oh no, this is too good. Oh! Animations! Honest to goodness animations.
To move to an adjacent ramp.
Oh! Yo! No way! This game is perfect. That's it. That's it. Ship it. Sell it. Sega hire this man. I think.
That tornado.
This lighting. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, this is a happy day. We'll worry about that light. Whoa. Whoa. The lights, they guide you or something. Whoa. Knuckles is fun. Yo, the water and the things and the camera. That's so neat. The weather changes? The weather changes as you go through the level. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I think I broke it. I think I broke it. I think I broke it. Oh, that feels so good. Oh, this looks so cool. Yo! Oh, that's so cool. The lightning! There's lightning! Oh. Oh, no. This is making me appreciate 06 an unhealthy amount more than I already did. Look at his face! He's so funny! Knuckles over the face! I can't believe this game has done this good! The project could still use some work, but it's clear the passion behind that work is driven to see it through to the end. I'm a big fan of passion. It's a force that inspires ambition across the board. And when that ambition pans out, we get... Sonic GT, short for Sonic Grand Tour, is my favorite Sonic fan project to date. Heck, if it was fleshed out to be a full game, there's no question it'd be my favorite Sonic game, period. As is, it's 4 of the best designed levels the Hedgehog's ever gotten, making full use of the best physics and mechanics I've ever seen in a momentum-driven game. GT is built on top of the bumper engine and incorporates the design philosophies of the classic titles into 3D seamlessly. Gain speed on slopes, launch into the air, every aspect of every level interacts with your momentum, pushing you gently forward while the level geometry serves as an oversized playground you can just have fun with. I don't think I've ever felt such a sense of freedom in a Sonic game, and it all feeds back into the sense of challenge so beautifully. Getting to the end of each stage isn't hard. Getting a clean run, meanwhile. Let's put it this way, I spent about 8 hours across 2 sessions trying to get the perfect run in Hidden Base, and didn't even notice. Every single moment of that time spent was self-discovery, raw improvement. No game has had this level of replayability for me since, like, the original Sonic Adventure. And did I mention GT only has 4 stages right now? If it had, like, a full 10 or 15 of this insane level of quality, I don't know how long I could get lost in this vibrant world, exploring these intricate stages, finding the dozens of secrets. This is the most Sega hire this man I've gotten in a long time. The controls really are optimal for a game like this. Sonic's a bit floaty compared to most outings, but that serves you well for rocketing up and over to new hidden pathways. No matter how you're going to deal with enemies, there's always an option to take them out and blast on through. That even goes for the homing attack, which carries momentum so long as you hold the button after contact. A mid-air dash, a trick button, a stomp, all in the name of precision when necessary. You can look out ahead of you while barreling down a path, see a landmark, leap for it, and so long as you've got a handle on the high speeds you've hit, you'll net the landing no problem. Every character also brings something else to the table. Sonic's got his drop dash from Mania. Shadow can use Chaos Boost off enemies to gain air. Mighty can come crashing down to the ground but maintain his speed, and others I won't dare spoil for you here. I find it really hard to remember while playing that this isn't an official Sonic product. It's just so clean, so polished, and I can't get enough of it. This version of the game was premiered at Sage 2020, and I'm not sure if they're considering another build to be made for next year, or if fans will have to jump in with the release of the physics mod on Bumper Engine, available for use right now if you wanted, hint hint. But can you imagine what more in this game could look like? I'm already imagining Knuckles and Blaze playstyles, crazy intricate environments to run through. There's just limitless potential here. I can't recommend this game enough. If I only needed one game to fill my Sonic void ever again, This is it. I'm jamming to the GT soundtrack while writing this script. Everything here is just so feel-good. Play it, just have fun with the best realization of what Sonic could be out there. Fair warning, it's a bit of a slow start. I think the tutorial can be a bit sloppy, the cutscenes could use a skip button, and some of the bosses could definitely be toned down in difficulty, but gods, after I'm done recording this, I need to go back and play it again. I'll beat those hidden base missions yet. That's not all Sage 2020 had this year. There's been some real winners this expo, besides the ones I've already covered. Sonic Galactic's looking great, another sadly short demo of what could be something really cool. Charming visuals, new character models, level design so far is on point. Tunnel the Mole is adorable, and his gimmick slots perfectly in with the rest of the cast. I just wish we had more than one stage to explore right now. The Infinity Adventure Pack got a new level that uses Spark music because, have I mentioned how much I love that OST? If you can get a grip on those controls, that's a real fun challenge to navigate. Sonic Liquid Survival? That's another bumper engine game. Not as polished, but it was still fun to blast through. Sonic Adventure Blast is interesting, you could say. Reminds me a lot of that Roblox mod where you play as Sonic. Anyone gotten their hands on that yet? Sonic Auxiliary's fun. A fan of Advanced Russian Heroes put together this nugget. An Advance-S game where you can play as Silver? Sign me up. Blaze has her 06 moveset. Espio's got a mission mode thing going on. Omega? Omega's just funny. Sonic Adventure Frenzy finally came out after 13 years? God, that's why it hit such a nostalgia bone for me. Even if some moments are a little frustrating. Ooh, there's Sonic Eternal, that was pretty fun. And
How about we go for a race?
Sonic and the Elements of Harmony.
What the hell is this?
Okay, look, y'all should just go check out Sage 2020 for yourselves. There's so much here, and some of it's not even Sonic themed. One of the more eye-catching demos in this year's Sage lineup is Brock Crocodile, a platformer where you whip your enemies and rely on ammo for your ranged options. It's Castlevania by way of Sonic. You can even jump on most enemies to take them out. The writing is genuinely funny, and how can you go wrong with a grin like this? It's a fun distraction, though not what I was expecting when I saw that a whip would be your main weapon. I thought it would be more like Starbuster's Cassie, where you grapple your way through littered environments and pick up momentum as you go. I like what Brock turned out to be, but give Starbuster a try. It's looking to be a heartwarming little story in the vein of Freedom Planet, even features music from the same composer, Woofle, and you can really hear her style seep into that atmosphere. Really great tracks. There's also this robot character, Alpha, who it's zero. They're just zero, and it's awesome. Fast-paced, exhilarating, so I guess it counts for that Sonic feel, right? I throw that word around a lot. Exhilarating. I think to me, that embodies Sonicness way more than speed ever will. That's why a game like Advent Neon hits that same nerve, even though it's like a beat-em-up. But the responsiveness of everything, the absurdly high energy combat, the combos, it's fun. It's really fun. The devs throw around descriptions like vibrancy and fluidity a lot, and come on, that's Sonic. Or at least Sega through and through. To be honest, I get a lot of Vectorman vibes from this, from the soundtrack to the robot dystopia with attitude air they got going on, and I really like Neon's design. They look super cute, beating the ever-loving cogs out of helicopters. I don't know. It's fun. It's exhilarating. That's your takeaway. That all said, exhilaration can come from going fast. That's why newer Sonic games still do it for me. Occasionally. Sometimes the mad scramble to nail that clean speedrun is all I need, and that's why I keep coming back to Distance. Following up their earlier project Nitronic Rush, Refract Studios finally finished their sci-fi driving game while I was out of commission. There's a lot that's changed from the early access build that I won't get into here, but at times I felt like I was playing some new third game in the series with how refined and well balanced everything's gotten. Not to mention the one big shortcoming I found with the beta, the lack of Nitronic's interactive score, has been fixed and then some. I can't get enough of this OST, and I promise you the YouTube player doesn't do these songs justice. There's something mesmerizing about barreling down these retro future roads, dodging buzzsaws and flipping upside down, all to the pumping beats that evolve with the stage and pound in time with the environment itself. I swear things get intense here to an almost borderline horror vibe. My heart's pumping regardless whenever I sit down for a spin. If you're not familiar, or if this just looks like a racing game, it's not. Heck, it really does feel more like a platformer sometimes with how the twisting levels are laid out. Especially once you finish the campaigns and give the dozens of imaginative custom levels a try. If you're not sure this kind of thing is up your alley, I'd recommend giving Nitronic Rush a go. It's a little less polished, but for a free game in the same spirit as Distance, I think it's got plenty of content for anyone to enjoy if it gets its hooks in you. Not to mention the way the soundtrack evolves so naturally, even your jumps and the warning sirens are just another part of the song. Though they're basically the same concept, I think it's worth experiencing what each game brings to the table. It really gives you a how far they've come vibe playing them one after another. Going the distance like that is something to be really proud of. If you play Super Cloudbuilt, you can feel that for yourself through the gameplay. The platforming here is top-notch challenge. The amount of precision some of the levels ask out of you is insane, but clearing a gap can leave you basking in pride when you look back down and think, wow, I did that. It's a beautiful world, and I find myself getting lost in it anytime I go back to play. You got a jetpack and a blaster to make your way through all sorts of skyrise tangles of geometry. I won't say this is how I wish Sonic felt in 3D, but gosh, a game like this makes a hard case for a whole genre being built out of this style of navigation. And I think that's my biggest takeaway from all this. Playing through all these demos, fan projects, and original ideas over the past few weeks has really made it sink in how much fun can be had even without our Lord and Savior Sega descending from the heavens with a new game in hand. In fact, calling it now, whatever the fans are going to come up with in 2021 is going to blow the official Sonic stuff we get out of the water. At the time of writing, there's already a fan project in the works to reimagine Sonic Forces more in line with the tone of the story, with voice acting, new levels. It's a lot, and it looks amazing. Just goes to show what passion can bring to the table. Who knows, maybe all the Sonic games we get this year and beyond will be amazing, and I'll have to eat my hat. But even if they're not, I can promise you there's no shortage of fun to be had blasting through colorful levels and jamming to great tunes, experiencing the great ideas put forth across the board from developers who have a passion for exhilaration and a flair for the awesome. Now I know what you're thinking.
Gosh, Austin, you sure got off topic there. Mega Man likes car games. It almost feels like you just wanted an excuse to talk about all the games you've been playing since you got your computer back.
And you'd be right.